You've heard of unconditional love, but have you heard of the secret to unconditional happiness and allowing more into your life? More wealth, more success, and more love. More freedom in your life right now. Welcome to the Happy Bar with Israel Savage.
Let's see. I think as we were talking, I'm thinking about just the human tapestry of emotion, and I'll have like good feeling states that will come to me. For instance, like today I've had these I think they're lilies, some kind of bulb that I want to plant. But it's like and similarly with writing, I have a flush of good feelings that come over me. And it's inspiration to work on some of the scripts that I have. But then it passes, and I then feel a little sad that I'm not acting on that impulse. But I'm also feeling like I'm trying to appreciate just that feeling when I have it. So I think my question is, and I know I feel like I ask this kind of often, but I'm still struggling with how to be patient with myself and how to just kind of let things come and trust that my greater self is working it out without feeling a time pressure.
Okay, great. And so you were saying you want to plant a bulb, like a lily, or you
want? Yeah, I mean, I literally have some plants. Speaking of, from the beginning of the call, I have some bulbs that are pretty easy, and I can just plant them. And, you know, I've had the desire to do that, but I haven't done it. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say how long I've had one of them. You know, it's been quite a while, and I just feel like I don't know, I guess I feel like I'm being a little passive.
Got it. So this is an excellent conversation to have. I think it's just the perfect conversation to have in light of what we opened with as we were talking, and in light of everything that's happened up until this point. And so let's talk about gardening. Let's talk about planting and what's involved in that. And so tell me about the process of planting. You have a bulb, you have some soil. Tell me what you do, and how do you get from that to a full bloom?
You know, I mean, I've got all the tools. I have the pot, I have the soil. It's really just a matter of opening. You know, it's a kit. I'm looking over, they're daylilies, I think. So it's really just a matter of following steps. Probably would not take more than 20 minutes to do that. And then, you know, it's sort of a daily evolution of watching them grow, because they'll peek out, right, and pop up. And then I think
so you have to water these plants.
Yeah, and I want to be careful about not overwatering.
Mm-hmm. Is there a place in the apartment you found through?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got great light, so you know, it's pretty much a no-brainer. It's just a matter of doing that.
And you can plant them any time of the year, or is there a specific time of the year?
I think so. I haven't really. Yeah, I can plant them now. Yeah.
Got it. So what would happen if you planted that bulb, and let's say 3 days, 6 days go by, and you just can't take it anymore because it hasn't sprouted, and so you dig it up and pull it out? Is that optimal in order to realize the end result is a full bloom?
Right.
You don't necessarily just want to do the action of planting. The end result. So would that be satisfying to dig in the soil and pull out the bulb before?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's something I would do. I think for me, it's just a matter of initiating. You know, just doing it, and then I feel like the process will just. You know, the trust is in there of just putting it in the earth, in the soil, and letting it do its thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm unable to, you know, or I have not taken the steps.
So here's why I wanted to use this analogy, and it may be for a different reason than where you think I might be going with it.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to use this analogy is patience, is timing. is the timing of things, is the allowing of
Mm-hmm.
things. When you allow that bulb to do what it does, is there any doubt that under the proper circumstances, you will have that full bloom?
No.
And so what is happening with you, and that happens with many people, is there we want to impose our own timing, our own timetable on a desire. And in doing so, we dig in to check on it and pull it out. Why aren't you ready yet? You should have bloomed by now. You should be well on your way. And it disrupts this process, this unfolding that will happen. And it will be exactly what we want, exactly what we want. But when we try to intervene with that desire, when we try to rush it forward, then we just get in the way of what happens naturally. And so I think you nailed it, that there's patience there. Where you are is exactly where you need to be. And when your desire is in full bloom, when your desire is in full bloom to write, when your desire is in full bloom to plant these bulbs, then you will take action. The timing will be just right. It will feel great. And it will be so easy. It will line up. And even if there are bumps, they won't feel like bumps because it's a joy to massage them out, right? And so that's what you're waiting for. And the fact that you've had some inspiration but haven't taken action yet, I think is a good thing. Because if something isn't a hell yes, it's a hell no. Right? Now, there are things that we can do to prime ourselves for, to make ourselves more fertile soil for this desire to grow and to bloom. And there's all kinds of processes, and that's what everybody is receiving each week. One of those is meditating, right? Or and there's some other processes that you're going to receive over the next few weeks that help you just prime the soil, that put you in a good feeling place. Another is remembering times that we've planted and it felt great, or that we were inspired in some other way. Just remembering times, just taking a second to remember times, and literally a second, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And what you'll find is that emotion grows. The surest way to kill a plant or to squash a desire is to insist that it be something other than what it is to beat ourselves up because we're not where we think we should be. So, bulb, I'm going to pull you out of the ground and curse you. And then I'll put you back in the ground. Well, we haven't helped ourselves or that poor plant. Does that answer your question, or is there more?
Yes. I mean, logically it does. I feel like a second piece of it is, I feel like I'm putting more pressure on because I'm not young, and I feel like I look at, and I know that's a judgment, but I look at, or I reflect on my life, and I feel like, well, things haven't happened the way I'm hoping, so it's hard for me to, it's hard for the good feelings to line up because I feel like I'm pulling up like very dry soil,
Right. And so here's where there might be certain topics where you have a practiced habit of thinking.
Yeah.
That where there is a momentum there where you just don't want to go near those topics, right? Choose the things that are easier to feel good about. And so maybe age is one of those or sometimes career, or even planting tulips or lilies or whatever it is. And so maybe you just don't go near that right away, right? And the way that you know whether you should go near something or not is how it feels. And so if a thought doesn't feel good or pleasant, then think a different thought. If you are having some unpleasant feelings, look at the thoughts you are thinking, and inevitably, always, 100% of the time, there's a disagreement between you and your physical self and your greater self about that topic. And the tension between the two is what you're experiencing as an unpleasant emotion. And so where you might be thinking, gosh, I've wasted so much time, or things didn't happen easily for me, and this wasn't the life I wanted or I planned, and look at me, here I am, and I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. The physical you may be thinking that, but the greater you is thinking, oh, if only you could see all the amazing things that you have placed in holding in escrow for yourself through all these experiences, just waiting for you to line up with them. What a wonderful life full of experiences you've had, and you've experienced things that you didn't like, and it's clarified what you do like. And physical self, as your greater self, I'm holding every single one of those desires for you, just waiting for you to line up. That's all. And your timing is all going to be just right, because everything is always working out for you. Everything feels better. That feels better, doesn't it? To know that nothing has been wasted, that the desires are still there, right? And so that's where we want to just become more sensitive in the very beginning stages to how we're feeling. Now, there is a momentum. Just like a car at the top of the hill, imagine a car at the top of the hill. When that car first starts to roll, you can stand in front of that car and stop it very easily, right? That's how our thoughts are. If we can catch them in the beginning where we have these unpleasant feelings and massage them out, either massage that thought out or put our focus on a completely different thought, then all is well. But once that car starts over that hill and down that hill and picks up some momentum, you step out in front of that car and you're going to get plowed over, right? You just have to let that let that momentum run its course, and it will stop eventually. And then that's where you massage it out. And no need, you can scream all you want, you can curse all you want as that car goes down the hill. There's nothing you can do about it until it reaches the bottom. And so you might as well just feel better and enjoy the ride, and then work on things once that momentum has slowed just a bit. And so you truly can't get it wrong. It's all working out for you. More?
I'm good.
And I know the purpose of this, and what I appreciate so much about you and everybody here, is that you're talking through stuff, but also the telling of the story and continuing to tell the story in the same way keeps your focus there. And so week by week, let's see if you can start to tell a different story, if this is something you've worked on for a little while. And maybe it means you take your focus off this topic altogether and you put it on better feeling topics where you are seeing progress and change and momentum. Listen, let's say you have 5 areas of your life, and in 4 areas, you just aren't seeing anything. There's resistance, doubt, disbelief, all kinds of things in those 4 areas. But in one area, there's progress, and it's easy. Put your focus on that one area, and the resistance will be released in all 4 other areas. It takes care of itself. You'll see progress in finances and relationships, every other area, if you focus on the area that is easy to focus on, where things are flowing easily and feel good. If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/happybar.